Damas y caballeros, los Stanley Oni Boys.
Latino, lo que estamos en la casa. Hola, hola, ¿cómo estamos, caballeros? Adán aquí, Adán y con
Rifan.
Hoy tenemos una noche bien especial para ustedes. Espero que se la disfruten. Derecho de Argentina y de Georgia, Dustin Luke.
¿Cómo está? ¿Todo bien? Acá estamos, vamos a bailar cuarteto, vamos a bailar salsa, vamos a bailar cumbia. Ojo, ojo.
It's okay, bro. Chill. It's not that serious.
something about drinking a chalice just tastes a whole lot better.
But honestly, though, look at us and look at y'all.
Yo, welcome back to Stanley Oni Boys. It's your boy Griffin.
¿Qué lo que, mi gente? El chamaquito Fuego Fire. Que el big.
Really up in the Spanish today. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Adon. Of course, we got Bazo off camera. And today, man, we have a special one. Aquí para todo mi gente, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, with over 300,000 followers on Instagram, over 600,000 subscribers on YouTube, with over 70 million views on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, the most Argentinian Yankee you will ever meet in your life, Mr. Dustin Luke.
What up? Guys, thanks for having me.
Welcome to the show, brother.
Love what you guys are doing.
Yeah, vague intro. Like, you know, you're much more than these numbers. You are, I mean, when I said the most Argentinian Yankee, and Yankee is a term that, you know, Argentinians use, right, to describe, you know, gringos or,
Exactly.
you know, Americans. Mm-hmm. How did we get here to what you're doing now?
Oh, man, it's such a long story. It kind of goes back to 2006 when I first stepped foot in Argentina. Or before that, I studied abroad in Spain. It was the first time I left the country.
Abroad in
España.
España. Yeah,
studied
exactly.
abroad for, is it college or?
Yeah, just some university. You know, you had to take some Spanish courses. And so me and some friends were like, okay, let's go do our courses over in Spain for 2 months.
That's mad.
It was awesome. Study abroad, everyone needs to do. Change your life. Change mine.
Yeah.
And so the first day we stayed in a hostel because we went before the program started. We're like, let's just go check out Madrid, you know? And we stayed in a hostel where a bunch of Argentinians worked and you know, they kind of all started there. They invited us to go. I went 6 months later, fell in love with it. I was like, how is it that no one's talking about this place? The passion, the food.
And this is like 2006, right?
Yeah.
So like the internet wasn't even like that heavy.
Not that heavy. It was just like hardcore Facebook at the time.
Because right now you can pull up your iPhone, see an Argentinian in like 5 seconds.
Yeah. No, back in the day you had no idea. Man.
You don't even know what they look like.
And that's the thing is like also, you know how gringo culture is like soccer, football is like or wasn't that big. It's starting to
Yeah,
you know, we're about to have a Copa America, Copa Mundial.
Dude, soccer I think is like a bad word in like Latin America.
Yeah, exactly.
You say that shit?
Exactly.
He's trying to fight you, bro.
Yeah, so, you know, I went to Argentina. I actually went for a weekend. A friend got some buddy passes. You ever know what buddy passes are?
I think we're thinking about two different things.
I don't.
So people who work for the airline industry, specifically Delta, get 8 buddy passes to give out friends and family. And you can fly standby. So you got to like time it and check the system. You can fly for like 10% of the flight. So we flew for $300 round trip, first class because there was space. Wow. We fly and went to Argentina for a weekend and it was just like, el vino. Argentine wine is like top notch. Argentine carne. Like I was eating like steak dinners with wines and it was like $40 for the gang. And I was like, all right, apago show. which is really wild because I was like a poor college kid, you know, at the time.
So,
and
when did so born in Dalton, Georgia, born and raised in Dalton?
No. I was born in Decatur.
Okay.
Family lived east like Norcross, Snellville, Georgia. Okay. And then moved to Dalton like recently kind of.
Recently,
within like the last 6-7 years.
Okay.
But there's some ties. Like my mom like lived here in high school, and so there's a lot of ties to Dalton.
And so, because I was going back on your YouTube channel, and I could see you uploaded your first couple of videos, just kind of see like some travel vlogs or whatever. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I think I see one of you uploaded videos like, how. I surprise people whenever I talk, Spanish, specifically Argentinians. Mm-hmm. And your videos were doing well before that, a couple thousand views. Mm-hmm. But this one, 1.2 million views, like boom. And this was like YouTube 10 years ago, you know, like whenever 1.2 million views was kind of unheard of.
Yeah.
They just had that like Charlie bit my finger. That was it. That was like the only thing popping back
That was the era. 100%.
And so, And so I guess what made you want to do that video?
So
were you like being like already like trying to get into YouTube and doing all that?
So I saw the vision. I saw that, there was this possibility of just, grabbing a camera and uploading it to the internet and just, people were doing it and making a living out of it and having fun. And it didn't really require a lot of production. It was just, it was just your webcam or a cell phone if, you had an iPhone at the time. And I was like, I could do this, or I want to try to do this at least. I was following one YouTuber. It was just like some guy. His name's Kev Jumba. I don't know. He's like,
yeah. He's a goat.
Is he?
Yeah, that's like way back in the day.
Kev Jumba?
No, he's lying. There's no way.
That's when the Asians were taking over YouTube. You remember?
Buzzle.
Timothy De La Ghetto, all them dudes, man.
I know Timothy De La Ghetto, but it was Kev Jumba.
Yeah, Niga Higa.
Yeah, he was big. He was
I think
really
we have to bleep out his name, actually, but at least the first half, you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Yeah, they
Kev
were the
Jumba.
crew. So I followed Kev Jumba. I thought it was cool. And him and his dad, I was like, this is so simple but fun. And like, I want to do this. So I talked to a friend of mine who was like, I think you could do this, He's like, just use your cell phone, they're HD, use the back-facing camera, think of an idea, figure it out on YouTube, learned how to do it on YouTube, learn how to edit, and just try, And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna try this out, And I thought maybe one day I'll get into maybe doing some Spanish, But at first it was all in English. And in one video, I was talking about travel and how I love travel, and I was talking about the countries that I traveled to, and I was like, I went to Argentina, and I was like, yo puedo hablar en español cuando quieras, and that was it. That's all I said. But in the meta tags of the video, I wrote Argentina, Buenos Aires, all these different things, and so the algorithm spit it out to Argentina a little bit.
Wow.
That video got like 1,000, 2,000 views, and then all these Argentinians in the comments were like, "What?"
Yeah.
They're like, "Make another video in Spanish." What the? No entiendo.
So whenever you started doing YouTube, you already fluent in Spanish.
Exactly.
And how long did that take?
So I always tell people that to become fluent in another language, you need to be speaking the language with natives daily for 2.5 to 3 years.
How did you manage that? You just moved to Argentina?
Yeah. Basically, I started beforehand. A really good friend of mine, kind of mentor in college, was like, you know what, man? Like most people are afraid to kind of put themselves out there, and that's kind of like the hardest part, the whole thing, because people, you're insecure. It's psychological a lot of the times. And he's like, but you're not afraid, and if you're this committed, I'll sit down with you twice a week and I'll help you out. So we sat down for 8 weeks, twice a week, and he just hit me with it. It was just conversational, but I was dedicated. He's like, it'd be like taking a college class. And I was obsessed, man. I obsessed over it. That's what I was saying is like, it wasn't that hard. It was hard. It is so hard. You got to look like an idiot. You got to step back. You got to,
Yeah, difficult. But like you said, it was fun.
It was so fun. I was obsessed with it. And every time I learned new like words and phrases or just like it was even just like a small thing that I could say at the right moment, the right time. And they're like, hey, soy gringo. And I'm like, yeah, I love that. It was cool. Right. It's cool to connect with people like that. And so, then I decided to move to Argentina after I graduated college because I didn't know what to do, but I knew I wanted to perfect my Spanish. Yeah. So I went there with that goal, lived there for a year. I'll do whatever it takes. Ended up staying for 4 years, got a Argentinian girlfriend, a bunch of friends. So I was installed.
So where were you staying whenever you went to Argentina?
Yeah, I was in Buenos Aires.
And then were you just you got your own place there?
Yeah. That's the thing is,
How good is the air in Buenos Aires?
It's so bueno.
It's good?
It's so bueno. No, Buenos Aires is an incredible city. Argentina is an incredible country. They have this phrase, and I think kind of like the perfect translation to like Mexican Spanish would be like, they have this word, it's a quilombo is the word.
I thought you were going to say kilo, bro. It's a different word. It's a different word.
I think Mexican would be like un desmadre, right?
Quilombro.
So, no, quilombo.
Quilombo.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so in Argentina, I always say that the country is a quilombo lindo because it's like beautiful chaos in a way.
Un desmadre lindo.
Un desmadre lindo, exactly. Because it's the city was super European. There was a time when Argentina was like the richest country in the world where, just all the aristocrats from Europe made it down to Buenos Aires. And you walk around in Buenos Aires and you're like, oh, wow, like this is Europe kind of in a way. So got my own place, was living there, working. I worked a lot in like nightlife and tourists and showing them around.
Nightlife, what were you doing?
Well, a pub crawl.
Okay, I was making sure you weren't like a hooker or something.
Working the streets of Buenos Aires.
Like a stripper or something.
No. We were helping gringos see the nightlife of Buenos Aires. Because that was the thing is like we would go there.
Like a tour guide kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And it would be like 7:30 And we would be like, all right, let's go out. And they're like, no, gringuito, shanky. They're like, no, we're like, no one's even at the restaurants aren't even open for dinner yet.
Yeah.
Like, no entendés nada. And we're like, oh my God. So we saw there was like this market for it where all these foreigners are ready early. So we're like, let's set them up early. Let's get them food. Let's take them to a couple bars, and then let's get them to the club by 2:30, 3 in the morning, which is when the club was getting pop. Like that's when it was started.
Dang.
So I did that for several years, and I just kind of lived abroad, bounced around, and I really kind of got to perfect my Spanish.
When you first moved over there, did you know anybody, or like did you like have like an initial contact?
A little bit, because before I went, some other friends went. And I traveled there twice before I moved there. And so we had kind of met some people. Like I said, when I was learning Spanish, I made as many friends as I possibly could. It was just like, and this was back in the day when Messenger was a thing. You guys remember those days?
Yeah,
It's like MSN.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so any Spanish speaker I met anywhere, I was like, what is your MSN? And the next day I would always get on, I would open up a chat, be like, ¿Qué pedo? ¿Cómo andas? ¿Todo bien? Actually, fun fact, I spoke Mexicano before all of this. Being from Atlanta and with my friends being Mexicanos, I was like, ¿Qué pedo? No mames.
No mames, way.
Yeah, so I converted. I can explain more about that in a second, but it was just grinding daily, communicating with people and obsessing over the culture and learning more and just really getting into it.
And so why did you take the love to Argentinian? Like just Argentina
Specifically,
yeah.
Yeah. So I have to admit, because Argentinians, their Spanish is different. They don't say tienes, they say tenés. And they don't say quieres, they say querés.
And
that shit sounds like a little Shakespeare type beat a little bit.
It's beautiful. I like it, man. So I always say, like, specifically the people from Buenos Aires, because that's where a third of the country lives, and that's where the most influential accent from Argentina comes from. When someone says you speak like an Argentine, they're talking about someone from Buenos Aires, usually. Everyone else from the rest of the part of the countries get pissed off. They're like, that's how Porteño people from Buenos Aires speak. We don't speak like that. So you have to clarify on the webs. But question was like, why Argentina? Why did I fall in love with Argentina?
Why that culture?
Man, because one, it was like this thing that was not discovered. The accent was totally different.
You're giving me Christopher Columbus vibes, right? Yeah. Don't hit that one. Don't do that one, brother. Don't do it. Wasn't discovered. Yeah.
It wasn't discovered like in a sense of like none of the people, even my Latino friends were like talking about it. None of my friends had ever been to Argentina.
I'll say I don't ever think about Argentina unless they talk about Messi. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I don't. Well, I don't know. I would think of Spain before. I would think of Cuba or whatever. Places I can't even go. Can't even go to Cuba,
Yeah.
Under the, dictatorship.
You know what they say?
Huh?
I'm not from Argentina, but I get Messi, boy.
Don't leave your hand away from me.
They say
That's the thing. Before Messi, it was Maradona. And before that, any other reference was tango, dancing tango.
Tango's from Argentina?
Yeah.
Never knew that.
No, you didn't know that?
Never knew
I
that.
love tango, dude.
Yeah, tango. And then the gauchos, which like a lot of the southern cone countries had gauchos, which is basically the South American cowboy. Basically, that's what a gaucho is. And that's all like really anyone knew. Maybe meat and wines. Mendoza, Argentina is this place where world-class wines, Malbec. Have you guys ever heard of Malbec?
No.
Okay. Well, you should.
Some, dude.
The next time you're going to try some red wine, Malbec from Argentina, blow your mind. So good. I'm all about it. But man, beautiful people. Like Las Argentinas.
The women. What about the men? What about the men?
My bad.
And then the pulling out the Spanish randomly probably definitely helps for sure.
Goodness.
Dude.
They were like, it is gringo. How often? You got to get that a lot, right? I was just telling you before. I'm like, bro, your Spanish is like better than mine. And I'm, from Mexican parents. Both of my parents from Mexico, grew up talking Spanish. But I think you said something very, key. Is like if you don't talk it daily, because I mean, with my friends, at work, at school, wherever, at home, the TV I watch, the music I listen to is just fucking Pooh Shiesty, in a ski mask. So I feel like it's, I don't know, you kind of lose it, and almost almost embarrassed about it,
Yeah, no, I've met a lot of. Do you guys? What do you? I'm actually want to ask y'all like, what do you prefer, Latino or Hispano, or what do you prefer?
Latino.
Yeah, I'm cool with Latino.
Latino, Hispano. How does that make you feel?
I would think you're talking about España. I would think you're talking about Spain.
Because technically, Hispano or Hispanic means that you speak Spanish, and so it includes Spain. It includes all the Spanish-speaking countries. Hispano. But I've found that in the States, like a lot of the times, like West Coast, you'll find these people because, you have Latinx movements and all these different things that are going on, all inclusive. And so they're like, they say sometimes like, no, it's not Latino. I don't know. Anyway,
you know what it is? Reggaetoneros, bro. Because they go, Latino! They never go, Hispano!
That's so loud. Dude. That's so loud.
So you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that's what it is.
Yeah, puede ser.
So you got blame Don Omar for that one, brother.
Yeah.
You fuck with Don Omar?
Of course, man.
Dale
Don
Don
Omar,
Dale?
Dale Don Dale. The one that I can think of that he did with Romeo was Ella y Yo. Ella y Yo.
Classic, dude.
Love that song, dude.
That dude really had sex with that dude's girlfriend. How crazy is that? And made a song about it.
I know.
But
Holy
so,
shit.
so as you were saying, to the Latino, Hispano, where were we going with that?
Yeah, I lost my train of thought. So anyway, the point is that Argentina, when it comes down to the food, beautiful people, nightlife culture, very passionate. They have Latino blood, so it's there, and it's that mix. I love mixes, man. Like when I see two cultures, or even three or more, because Argentina, when you talk about the earliest settlers, the people who came across, it's like 50% Italian, 25% Spain, and 25% mixed bag of the rest of Europe mixed with indigenous local. And I love that. I love seeing cultures just pop out of all these other different cultures. And so you could see it because you're talking to an Argentine, you're like, are you Italian or are you Spanish? Like, what? No entiendo, right? Because they're like, ¿y qué te pasa? ¿Y qué me vas a hacer? And you're like, wow, that's so cool. I thought it was so cool. So I was like, and I talked to some other people along the way, and they were like, "Oh, I love when an Argentinian girl speaks to me. Like, I love how that sounds, and it's beautiful." And
I love when any girl speaks to me. Any girl.
Standards are very low.
Yeah.
One of your most recent videos on YouTube, the guy you talked to was Italian. Right?
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm like, what? And I'm like, so that's Italian, but from Argentina, live in Argentina, but they like claim Italian or what is that?
Well, that guy, that was a funny video where it was me, and actually the girl that I was with was also
from Colorado.
Yeah, she's from the States.
Awesome.
And so she's kind of like, she lives in the interior of Argentina, or reps that, more importantly, Córdoba. So shout out to all the Cordobeses.
Shout out, Ben Gang.
They have like a different accent. It's different and it's funny and it's awesome. And she mastered it. Like when I heard this girl speak, I was like, sos uno de los míos. So we got together and we're like, let's play around and do like a prank where we approach people. She is Argentinian and I'll play the American, and we don't understand each other. And we get this random person to kind of like try to give us couples therapy and figure it out in the situation. Okay. That guy was just like, he was just there visiting. But he fit. Italians and Argentinians love each other. It's like, they're like primos, basically, they get each other 100%. They don't, because they talk with their hands and communication is so, body language 100%.
And passion, dog.
Yeah.
Passion runs through them Italians.
Yeah, man. In Argentina, you see that. It was the first time that I'd ever like went into a club when it was dark out and came out when it was like 9 a.m. And I was like,
9 a.m.?
Yeah, dude.
Not even like 6.
No. 9 in the morning. People were getting ready for work and whatnot.
No, they were already at work, bro. So they were about to take a lunch break in a couple hours.
Yeah. So the nightlife over there, they're like
it's unreal, man. They keep going. They're on that like marathon type,
How long did it take you to get used to that? Because I mean, coming from here, 10 p.m. to like maybe 3 a.m.
max. Like I feel like sometimes in these pueblos and these like small towns, more like 1:30.
Yeah.
No, I was all about it. I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's keep going.
Dope.
This is different. I wanna experience this. Like, and it's just contagious to me. Like when I see a bunch of Argentinians, they're like, hey. And they're like going all night. And I'm just like, this is it. I want to stay here. I want to hang out with this. I want to mix with the people here.
God, a few people actually do it. I feel a lot of people are like, man, I could go visit someone. Man, I could live here.
Yeah, it's like conversation you have with your boys. Like,
yeah.
We should move to Argentina, bro.
I went to Puerto Rico for my homeboy's bachelor party. I'm like, bro, what if we lived here? Knowing damn well we weren't. We would never.
Bro, the unfortunately, like fortunate for us making dollars,
rich as fuck.
In Argentina,
we're in here, bank account crazy, bro. 6-7 houses, girls
you
everywhere.
are just really flexing this episode. You are on one. I mean, he's not usually like this. He's just very excited.
No, it's just like anytime somebody says like, oh, like we're so lucky to be whatever, I just like to take it to like the extreme. Like, yo, hella money, we're just doing great.
Yeah, you go to Argentina and you bring dollars, you're living large, man. Like I met this one girl in Argentina, and her rent was $50 a month. She had her own like apartment set up in Argentina. $50 a month. Dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I guess
For an apartment.
Yeah, look, that's the extreme case. So if you want to go to Buenos Aires, for example, I was just there just now, and my rent in Buenos Aires was $450, and I was like 9th floor, like high rise, $450 a month. And
how many bedrooms?
No, it's just one bedroom.
Okay. But still, I mean, 450. You're never gonna find that
In a big city, like
no, you're never
it's
gonna
like
find
Paris of South America.
that. You might find you could rent a closet maybe, or like a storage room
Yeah.
for that much
No,
here.
I was just looking at prices in Miami because I'm moving to Miami, and
Good luck with that, dog.
studio apartment, right?
You got to rap the whole time you're
It's
there.
like $1,600, $1,700.
That's mad. That's where everything's just there.
And
Just you, the booth, your bed.
He doesn't rap. He doesn't rap. He doesn't rap.
Studio apartment.
He doesn't rap.
It's a studio apartment.
And what made you want to move to Miami, or how did that come about?
Have you been to Miami?
I mean, yeah. No, Miami's great.
There you go, bro.
But like,
Miami. So what's really cool about Miami, and I feel like the rest of the United States doesn't really know this, is that Miami has a whole movement besides South Beach. Like South Beach is cool,
There's more to Miami than South Beach.
bro.
We
South Beach,
didn't make it past South Beach, dog.
it's fun. It's a thing, but it's the touristy thing.
Right.
It's all overpriced. Most of the people that are there are in and out. They're not like locals. You're not gonna find many locals there unless they go to the beach. They might go there, But there's this whole movement on the continent side of Miami, in Miami, right? Because Miami Beach is an island, and so when you cross the bridge and you go west, you get to the continent side, which you'll have Wynwood, where the Wynwood Walls. You've got Brickell, which is like New York City right now. You've got downtown. You've got just a whole movement that's happening over there that's cultural, it's artistic, and it's like, young professionals. And so you're starting to get this mix of, you still have the Latinos, but you have young professionals, and it's kind of like becoming a place that's fun to live, and a lot of events happening. And, you've got what's that art event that happens in December?
Viva Urbana?
No, what'd you say?
Viva Urbana?
Viva Urbana, no.
No, this is a big reggaeton festival.
Oh man, I gotta say this before Art Basel. Have you heard of that? Art
Oh, yeah.
Art Basel Miami. It happens in December, and it's an incredible event.
And what is it? It is a...
It's just an event around art and music. And a lot of people fly in from all over the world, and it's
Do you feel like
really,
it has
really
like
cool.
a real like fancy stigma though? I feel like anytime I hear about it, it's always like, oh my God, we're going to Art Basel. So
Oh, really?
Like, I hear like that. every time.
It could be.
who
Yeah,
talks
because
like
I used to work in the Hamptons, like in New York,
Oh, okay.
and like all like those little rich girls, be like, oh, we're going to Miami for Art Basel. Like they would literally say, like,
Oh, you
yeah.
really heard it. I thought you were lying again.
No.
I thought, yeah.
No, so I feel like it has like a very like I've never been there, but like I felt like before like I would hear about it, I'd always think about like like super fancy, like artsy,
like maybe Coachella or something.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm gonna Coachella.
yeah.
No, but besides that, man, Latinos. I thrive in a Latino community, and there are a lot of Argentinians in Miami, and I've got a lot of contacts there. I wanted to be in the beach. They're actually about to have a one-way flight up to Chattanooga, which is cool. A direct flight, sorry. It's just Latino. That's what I want. I want to be around the community. They say Miami is the closest South American city to the United States, and I mean, it's just so true, right?
How did
Because
you...
they have like Spanish signs and stuff there too.
No. There are days where I will go without speaking English in Miami.
Yeah.
Like tranquilo.
Their
right?
airport, like it's like they'll say something in English,
Yeah.
and then they'll say it in Spanish.
Yeah, there's a big sign
Yeah.
in Miami airport that says "Bésame mucho." It's like huge on the wall at the top.
How do your parents or your family feel like for your this sudden love for you this Latino culture, and then you're just I don't know what do they say? Because both of them, right? American. Like let's get this 100% American, born here in the South, American through and through.
Yeah, dad's from Boston, mom's from
Fucking
Georgia.
Go
Boston,
go
Sox.
Celtics.
Go
Yeah.
Sox.
So I'm the only one in my family who speaks Spanish. And shout out to my parents, man. I always do content in Spanish, and they don't understand anything I'm
They
saying.
watch it.
And so if they watch this, I'm happy for them to get to.
It's so
to see
crazy.
some of the
It's so
love at this.
crazy to me that I don't know. It's just it's mind boggling thinking like none of your family speaks Spanish and you're just full blown just immense in it.
Latin.
Yeah, you know, there's this whole thing going around because, you know, Argentina won the World Cup and so many people showed their support around the world, me included, obviously, on social media and everything. And there's this kind of like phrase that was going around like, el argentino nace donde quiere, right? Where like the Argentinian is born, he decides to be born wherever he wants to be born. And so all these people always say like, fuiste argentino en otra vida. I believe it, man. I don't know. I just felt connected to the culture and like the more I showed my enthusiasm, the more I saw someone else smile about their own culture, appreciate their own culture, which was wild to me, you know? And it just allowed me to connect deeper into a whole world. Like literally I can step foot in Latin America, a whole entire continent, South America, Central America, and just feel comfortable, you know?
I love, man.
And I love that. I think it's the coolest thing. You know, there's like this, I say this in a couple, I've said this a couple times. There's a Czech proverb, an old Czech proverb. It says like, you learn multiple languages, you live multiple lives. You learn one language, you live only one life.
Wow.
And I wholeheartedly believe in that, you know? It's cool. It's cool to connect with people through language.
What do you think about like it is about like, you know, like Central America? Because I'm Dominican, so I feel like the same when I go to DR.
¿Qué lo que?
Que lo
¿Qué lo que? ¿Qué lo que? ¿Cómo estamos?
You're Dominican,
¿Qué
dude?
lo
This
que,
whole time?
tigre?
Yeah, this whole time.
What the hell?
Pero yo soy dominicano, ¿verdad? Y cuando yo voy a República Dominicana, yo siento como ese amor de la gente. ¿Qué tú crees que hacen los hispanos o latinos como en esa forma, como like they want to accept people? Like I feel like a little bit more than here. Now I'm not saying that you don't see it here, but I feel like you see it a little bit more over there.
¿Por qué son tan amorosos o por qué aceptan tanto a la gente? O,
Yeah.
No.
Both. I was like, yeah, what?
Like why do you feel like
yeah.
why do you feel like people are so much more accepting over there? Like when or like even happier, really, bro.
Yeah, I was kind of talking about this recently about how like I think that Latinos in Latin America is more in touch with what is more like la Pachamama, like the roots of what is like dance and singing and like celebration around just like getting together, and they're more like sueltos, they're looser when it comes to that. And so there's no shame and everyone can do it. And it's like, I feel like with maybe my roots and more, you know, gringo culture, people aren't afraid. People have fun and stuff, but it's a little bit more reserved and it's not so out there and it's not so expressive, right? And I think that with Latinos, that's really the case. And so I love that too, because as soon as you can make that crossover through language or whatever it may be into the culture, and you see that everyone's just like, there's no shame. It's like, if you got to dance, everyone's dancing. It's like, that's what it is.
Yeah.
We're out here. We're dancing. We're having a good time.
There's literally, you know, the thing in La Vibra in, you know, Mexican weddings where you and all your buddies, you know, the groom is standing up on a chair and then, you know, he's holding the veil, the veil of the bride. And then his buddies like all holding hands. They like run around the room, whatever. And then they try to knock him down. Take his clothes off and throw him up in the air. That sounds mad explaining to it. But like you say that, I'm like, oh, no más está casado, más de lo que hacemos aquí. Like, you know? And so like, I guess that is very true because I never thought of it. To me, it's like very normal. And I remember there being like we had a photographer. It was my buddy's wedding. And, you know, as white people, they're like, what the fuck?
He called 911.
I'm like, I'm like, dude, they're molesting that man. Take him. Like, no,
That man's being assaulted right now.
No. Like, it's just, it's a part of it. You know, his shoes and like socks are coming off. And it's just, and I feel like it's just, I don't know. I guess you say they're not, because, you know, Americans, of course, everybody has fun, right? But I feel like, it's a very different way of expressing it. As far as Latin culture.
Yeah, I say this sometimes, like, I just feel, you know, it's like, it's they're more in touch with what is the generations of, but like, you know, primitive. I say primitive, it sounds bad, but what I'm getting at is just
I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
It's just more in touch with just being like human, you know? And like, as time goes on and we get more reserved, more uptight, it's like we're losing the soul. Basically. And Latinos have the soul and it's out and the chest is open and they're like, soy yo. You like it or not, like, here we are.
And I feel like you even feel it, like, when I spend too much time here, like, I'll go back over there and they'll have, like, parties and stuff. And I'm, like, kind of, like, at first, like, sitting down and, like, chill and, like, watching everybody. And then once I'm there for, like, a few days, then I feel, like, more comfortable, like, so, man, I feel like that's, like, that shit from here, like, that kind of, like, stays with you, like, I know what you're saying, like, that, like, being shy or, like, being, like, kind of reserved.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's all different culture, and everyone has their way of doing the things, you know. And also we're generalizing right now, obviously.
Right, yeah, for sure. Because we know you white folks get down. I know you guys take your shirts off at bars too. You know, we get popping.
People get down.
Y'all get down.
Yeah, this is a perfect kind of crossover because, like, you guys had the Latino roots, but like you grew up here. I guess y'all grew up here, or no? You didn't. You didn't grow up here.
I was born in Dominican Republic, but I came here very young. I grew up in like half in New York and then half here. Like,
okay. Yeah. By the way, like Dalton is Latino,
bro.
Like I had no idea. Dude. Until recently, I was like, hold up.
You're like, what are these Mexicans doing?
That's the thing. Is like it's crazy. It's like Dalton is like full on. Like I say this in a way where I don't see it. Dalton is segregated, but like it's starting to mix, and I feel like we're all getting to see it. Downtown is like happening. Mm-hmm. It's happening right now, where everyone is coming together, and both cultures are coming together. And there are key players out there like Juan, like Heath. Shout out to both those guys.
Shout out.
Yeah, that are down for the movement. Also, my brother-in-law, Drew Michaels, who's running the brewery, Dalton Brewing Company.
Oh, really?
All these people are bringing the culture together, and there's events happening. What is it? Burr Park? Is it?
Park, yeah.
You know, and it's so cool
soon
to see, man. It's super cool.
And I feel like that is one big thing because my bad. But I feel like it is one big thing because I feel like growing up, I don't know, maybe didn't see it a lot, you know. And now I feel like we are. Like, I mean, everybody's going to these, you know, Spanish bars or whatever, and everything's opening up. And I don't know, it's crazy to see. And I feel like I kind of see, I guess, an acceptance towards, you know, like there's a very big Hispanic community here. I mean, with everything, even with the soccer, the big soccer, you know, finally getting noticed here.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. So yeah, I guess I do see that. I understand.
Town, right?
Soccer Town, USA.
I had no idea. So it's like. Dalton is
literally
popping for that.
In Georgia, the state of Georgia, the top two teams were Southeast and Northwest. It was all in Dalton High School, all in Dalton, within 10 minutes of each other. In the whole state was all right here.
That's crazy, man.
So I'm getting goosebumps just saying that, man.
Yeah, I had a chance to go through the Latino neighborhood, and I was like, you know what? I had no idea that all this existed, and I think it's so cool. And I went to get my. What are they? Well, see, this is really funny for me because like in Argentina, it means a different name. But you're like sweetbread, like conchas, whatever. Mexicanas.
What does it mean?
It's conchas for you guys too.
Yeah.
Pan dulce?
No, but what does it mean in Argentina?
In Argentina, it means.
Shit. Okay. Yo, I need all the conchas to hit your boy up. You know, we getting a little dry over here, man. You see me with Dustin Luke over here.
You see me with Dustin. What a white name too, by the way. Dustin Luke.
Yeah, no,
I just called you Duke because you put both of them together.
It's
like
funny,
the D
like
and the Luke.
How many people do that? I'll get messages you like, muy bien, Duke. I'm like, what the hell? But no, I love that Dalton has that presence, and every time I go downtown and I see Latinos around, I can go to like a bar and be 100% Latino. I'm like, what? Yeah. I had no idea. Love that. So Dalton is Latino.
Talking about going to Latin bars, man. I've seen your dance moves on IG, dog, and my boy gets down, bro. How did you learn how to dance like this, man? Because I'm not gonna speak for myself. Like I'm Spanish, Dominican.
It's in the blood.
Dominicans like know how to dance.
We're supposed to, right? But like, bro, not like that, bro. How did you learn this, man?
Man, so my family, my parents, and I definitely give it to them. They always were dancing, no matter what. They were putting on music and they were dancing at home. And like my mom was, she's just like, don't let go of your partner. Come on, you got this. And my mom, like they were always just about music.
Counting. Remember like, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
Yeah. So the music and dance was always at the house, and they were always promoting that and having a good time. And so when it got into learning about the culture, and obviously dance was so present in Latino culture, I just got into it. I was like, I need to learn this, and so I was just throwing myself out there bit by bit. And it's been so many years. I've been doing this for so long, and so I try things and it gets better and better. And I love to dance, love to go to parties. That's why I'm throwing these parties that I'm doing now across the states.
Yeah, great transition. So can you explain what it is that you're doing?
Yeah.
Alta Joda.
So
Alta Joda.
So
Alta Jodafest.
Alta Jodafest is the name. Alta Joda means to party on another level.
Alta Joda.
Because Joda is like party, rager.
Joder.
Alta Joda. And it's very Argentinian focused, Latino as well. And the idea is to kind of bring Argentinian culture to basically a city near you in the United States. Latino culture in Argentina está de moda. They're definitely like really popular right now.
Y estar soltera too, está de moda.
Yeah. Estarse. Exactamente. And so I want to, I'm back in the States. I'm living in the States now because I lived abroad for so long. And I was like, you know what? Why not bring Argentina to my country and let me bring it around, show my country what Argentina is. And that's the goal. So we've already done 6 events. We did 3 in LA, 2 in San Francisco, 1 in Miami.
How do you go about putting all this together? Or is it you? Is it a team?
Yeah, it's me and another party who had been around in LA for the longest time. And so we got together and we kind of partnered on this to create Alta Joda together. And so I just got off the phone today talking about doing some in Barcelona and in Madrid and also in London, which would be so wild, man.
You see my boy Ty out there.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a mad cunt, huh? You're a mad lad.
But it's cool. I'm having a good time getting to go around, meet a lot of people. I'm touring. Like, it's the craziest
That
thing
is
to say.
crazy.
I'm touring around the
I'm
United
on
States.
tour.
Yeah, I'm on tour.
Man, how many times we say that jokingly?
I know.
Oh, hey, we're on tour, by the way, guys.
Take us with you, dude. We don't
Y'all are
care.
invited,
Can we be
man.
an opening act, dude?
We'll
If
have
we get our stuff
We'll
together.
have the Stanley boys like in the corner. We'll get you guys some like sound.
Dude, let's do
boxes.
how we would open up the show, dude.
Let's go start it out.
It's gonna be-
Damas y caballeros, por favor,
gonna be awful.
los
So bad.
Stanley Oni Boys, Latino Brooklyn, que lo que estamos en la casa.
Hola, hola, ¿cómo estamos, mis caballeros? Adán aquí, Adán y con...
Rifan.
Alta joda. Hoy tenemos una noche bien especial para ustedes. Espero que se la disfruten. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, el único, el caballero derecho de Argentina y de Georgia, Dustin
¿Cómo está? ¿Todo bien? Acá estamos, vamos a bailar cuarteto, vamos a bailar salsa, vamos a bailar cumbia. Ojo,
And fireworks everywhere.
All right, and Baza, what do we have here?
So if you hire, I know that was like off the cuff, but like if you hire us, we'll do a better version.
I mean,
of
I
that.
feel like we have actual, material we go.
Dude, I thought we said we want to do this Spanglish, man. I feel like we're lacking right now.
Okay.
Okay. So,
We're gonna play. Este juego va a ser en español.
so we've done like 40 minutes in English. So I'll say
Okay.
the rest we do it in Spanish.
Okay.
Yo-
All right. Wait.
Este juego es en español. ¿Qué vamos a hacer hoy, Vaso?
Okay.
Kelvin, ¿qué vamos a hacer?
Oh, ok, vamos a jugar un juego que
Okay.
en inglés se llamaba wodie or not. Vamos a poner fotos de celebrities, celebridades aquí y tú nos vas a decir en un par de palabras que tú piensas de esta persona.
Okay.
El primero tenemos al rey, el goat,
yo
la
voy
cabra.
yo voy primero. El chivo.
El chivo. Muy bien. The goat.
La cabra.
La cabra.
¿Qué pasó?
Es chivo go, though.
No, español, Griffin,
No,
español.
el chivo entonces.
Es bien, es raro hablar, español con tus amigos.
El campeón.
Yeah. Genio de todos los genios.
I like it.
Yo no creo que va a ser un jugador mejor que él. Messi.
Okay.
No lo conozco.
I'm gonna
¿No
say,
lo conoces?
no lo
Muy bien.
conozco.
Es argentino.
Ok.
what
Manu Ginobili.
what's the Drake vibe? The
I hit that Ginobili with my left hand, all like, woo!
Español.
oh, Drake.
¿Qué es la vibra? La
Como
vibra
dice Drake, Ginobili with con el paso,
¿O tiene una barra, Drake?
Sí, el
Ah,
Drake
No sabía.
de Toronto.
No lo conozco tampoco.
Wow.
Manu Ginobili. Él es de Bahía Blanca, de Argentina. Yo diría que suave.
Suavemente.
Esa es una cosa nomás de conocer todos los argentinos.
¿Ustedes saben quién es él?
Sí,
No,
el otro
sí,
chivo,
que sí.
¿no?
No, yo no sé quién es.
Pero también de fútbol, ¿verdad?
¿Sabes quién es Pelé?
Sí. Claro,
Yo he oído su nombre, pero no sé quién es.
Pelé, ok. Muy bien. Bueno.
Pero explícanos, ¿quién es?
Él es Diego Maradona. Por muchos años él fue, es como que mucha gente dice Diego Maradona o Messi, ¿quién fue mejor? Es como que
el campeón mundial, ¿verdad?
Y sí, ganó, jugaba y también fue un personaje drogadicto. Fue como el mejor de todos esos tiempos en el fútbol. Creo que jugaba en Italia. Ha tenido una locura de vida. Y en Argentina, de hecho, hay una religión que se llama Diego Maradona, que él es el dios de esa religión. Tanta influencia tenía el tipo.
Wow.
Entonces, el influenciador de los influenciadores, básicamente. Él fue el OG influencer, básicamente.
Estamos aprendiendo cosas nuevas aquí contigo.
En Netflix ahorita apenas salió como un documentary de él, ¿no?
Exactamente.
You mean un documentario?
Un documental.
Un documental.
Un documental. Ah, no sé, pero
No sé.
Smash.
Es Smash.
Es Smash.
Smash.
Yo no sé, pero yo me la como, ¿me entiendes?
Ella se llama Lali Espósito. Es una actriz, cantante. Y ella es súper... la conocí una vez en un programa de televisión. No. En un programa de televisión. Como que ella estaba en Buenos Aires, yo estaba en el sur. Y estábamos hablando por la televisión. ¿Me explico? Okay. Y todo el mundo me habla de que ella es muy encantadora. Como que sabe chamullar. En Argentina hay una palabra que es chamullo o chamullar. Que es básicamente... cómo encarás, ¿entendés lo que te digo? Encarar. Es como, ella sabe muy bien, tiene mucha labia, te puede encarar.
She's smooth.
She's charming. Bien, como nomás te...
Exactamente.
Pues yo te digo ahorita, yo la amo.
Sí,
yo la amo y...
Es buena gente, muy talentosa.
I bet she is.
Oh, el Papa.
El Papa.
¿El Papa?
¿El
Papa
El Papa es argentino.
Sí.
El Papa es argentino, claro.
Wow.
Claro, y él fue muy progresivo en todo lo que hizo, así que nada, Argentina está en todos lados, ¿viste?
Yeah. Él era como el primer papa de aceptar como
LGBTQ.
Homosexuales y cosas así.
Oh, wow.
Claro.
Yeah. ¿Así lo dicen el Papa?
Sí, el Papa.
I never knew. I thought it was Pope. ¿Qué se le dicen?
Estamos haciendo ese podcast con estos gringos.
Okay,
Vaso, quítamelo de aquí, por favor.
¿Por qué estás hablando así? ¿Sabes qué? Este vato es dominicano, pero siempre cuando hablo con los otros, habla español como un mexicano. No le diga, oye, ¿qué es lo que?
Pero yo siento como que eso es algo como natural, ¿verdad? Cuando tú hablas con una gente con un acento, como que tú, mimics su acento también.
Claro, obvio. O sea, en cualquier momento voy a decir verdad en vez de verdad.
En verdad. That's more like Puerto Rican.
Sí, también.
¿Este señor?
Fidel Castro.
No.
The GOAT.
No. Nobody likes Fidel Castro, actually. Y sabes que I feel like lo conozco, pero
ahí, estabas cerca. Ese es Che Guevara.
Danos una historia, una brief history.
Él fue... Hay todo un... hay una película de él, pero él básicamente fue como, creo, por ahí me equivoco, pero él fue muy tipo socialista y hizo como todo un viaje en su moto por toda Latinoamérica. También fue doctor y llegó a Cuba y tuvo amistades con
Fidel. The GOAT.
Yeah. Pero fue como que llegó un momento en Estados Unidos donde él fue como muy popular en las remeras tipo Urban Outfitters. Fue como que algo de hipsters. Yeah. Fue muy gracioso porque nadie entendía nada.
Oye, yo tengo una camisa de él y yo no lo conozco.
Claro, exactamente.
¿Conocen a Santiago Ponzinibbio?
No.
He's a Argentinian UFC fighter. Es el único que de Argentina que yo conozco y es perro. Like he fights, bro. He's good.
Mira.
Yeah.
¿Quién es?
Smash.
yo creo que es un hombre.
¿Y eso qué? What were we just talking about?
Es verdad.
La LGBT.
Tenemos que ser más aceptante.
Como el Papa, por favor.
Pero quiero hablar del pelo. Para mí, ese es el típico pelo argentino por mucho tiempo. Ahora no.
Por la humedad. La humedad ya está acabando, brother.
Pero eso como que me hace acordar mucho de lo que es Argentina.
Como si miran unas fotos de los padres ahí en tiempos viejos.
Claro.
No tienen ese pelo.
Pero es tipo como mullet, ¿no?
Claro. It's like a mullet.
Pero mira, ya está viniendo otra vez. The mullet.
Yeah.
The fashion, todo eso regresa.
Pero calculo que esta foto no fue sacada recién. Calculo que fue hace mucho tiempo. No estoy seguro. ¿Quién es? Ni idea. ¿Quién es?
¿Quién es Vaso?
Es mujer.
¿Es mujer?
Gabriela.
¿Te gustan más las chicas con el pelo lacio o el pelo rizo?
Buena pregunta, porque Porque
So
rizo,
whatever your wife is, huh?
con pelo rizo me encanta, especialmente cuando es así. ¡Pah!
Yeah.
Me vuelvo loco. No tengo preferencia.
Okay. So, tú también tuviste un programa de televisión, ¿verdad?
Así es.
¿Y cómo pasó eso?
Sí, fue de que me mudé a Argentina. La idea era me mudé a Argentina por una segunda vez. Fue después de YouTube. Porque la primera vez que viví en Argentina no había metido en YouTube ni nada. Entonces volví a vivir en Argentina porque dije, si en algún momento llego a tener más de 100.000 seguidores en YouTube, tengo que volver a Argentina porque mis seguidores están ahí y debería tener oportunidades que me están esperando. Entonces, vuelvo a Argentina y empecé a ver si puedo empezar un proyecto por mi canal de YouTube y viajar toda la Argentina. Y un programa de televisión me llama. Me dice, queremos que hagas eso con nosotros, te vamos a pagar un sueldo, vas a viajar todo el país y te vamos a ver viendo nuestro país desde tus ojos, tu perspectiva como yankee, como dicen, gringo, como estadounidense, y qué piensa de nuestro país y todo. Te juro que fue el mejor año de mi vida. Imagínate, te pagan un sueldo, bien, viajas todo el país, todo pago, graban todo, editan todo. Y después de eso, obviamente, estando en la televisión, las marcas quieren trabajar con vos.
Sí.
Entonces fue espectacular.
Entonces, tú estabas en televisión, como televisión nacional de Argentina.
Claro.
So, tú tenías como un crew de cámaras que te perseguían.
Todo.
Wow.
Todo.
¿Y eso cómo pasó?
Eso pasó porque, claro.
Wow, that's why you don't go to the bathroom, huh?
Oh, that's crazy. Oh, hablaron de
Yeah,
todo
yeah,
eso.
yeah.
Okay, pues. I'll watch the episode.
So, lo que sí te puedo decir es que el jefe de los jefes del canal de televisión me llamó un día y los que trabajaban ahí me decían, si él te está llamando a su oficina, como que eso es un big deal, ¿no? Entonces fui, hablamos y él me contó como que me encanta lo que estás haciendo, quiero que tu público y el público internet, YouTube, llegue a ver televisión porque estamos perdiendo cada vez más los jóvenes de la televisión. Entonces queremos darte un programa que te guste. Y entonces nada, viajamos todo el país y viví una locura. De hecho, cada viernes fui al canal para presentar en vivo mi sección, mi show, mi programa. Y fue una locura porque salía del programa y porque hice ese programa con un amigo y salíamos y no sabes como que porque 2 millones de personas vieron ese show cada vez que salía en la televisión. Wow. 2 millones de personas. Entonces, mis redes sociales explotaron. Fue como que salgo y de repente me llegan, no sé, 1,000 mensajes directs, 2,000 seguidores nuevos. Y fue así por 8 o 9 meses.
¿Y cuántas chicas? ¿Muchas?
Yo entiendo ahora cómo es para una chica que... o sea, viste como que las chicas van a un boliche dicen los argentinos, antro, como dicen ustedes,
okay.
Club, y saben que van a estar ahí esa noche con 10 personas acercándose,
fácil,
o 15 o 20.
fácil.
Saben que van a tener eso, ¿no?
4 aquí.
Qué loco.
Ahí están listos.
Fácil.
Y los hombres no tienen o sea, yo voy al bar para hablar con alguien, no que me van a acercar. Entonces a lo que voy es, yo por primera vez sentía esa atención online, pero al revés, que me escribían a mí por mensajes directos.
Wow.
So, ahora tú puedes elegir la que tú quieres y la que tú no quieres.
Es muy loco. La verdad
Ellas te mandaron las fotos sexys y todo eso primero.
Una locura. Cuando hablas de estadísticas, ponele, si decís la mitad de 1% de 1 millón, la mitad de 1% de 1 millón son 5,000.
Wow.
That's a lot. Statistics, cuando hablas de porcentajes chiquitos, con un número enorme, you still have big numbers, ¿no? Entonces
con todo eso, ¿todavía te casaste?
¿Cómo? No está casado.
¿No te has casado?
No.
¿Todavía no?
Yeah, no.
¿Tienes novia?
No tengo novia.
Welcome.
No tengo novia.
like
To the
it.
solteros.
I like it.
Y pues yo he mirado también, sacas videos en YouTube cada semana. Cada
De vez en cuando. Estoy más que nada en Instagram o TikTok o Facebook, que también... Facebook, ojo, Facebook sigue ahí. Yo subí un video hace un par de meses y tiene 10 millones de vistas en
Los
Facebook.
viejitos están
Yeah.
en Facebook.
Estoy diciendo todo eso lo más.
También hay de todo en realidad. porque-
Y luego en el YouTube tienes como clases de inglés y de español.
Óyeme, otro canal, ¿verdad? Otro página en Instagram.
Claro, como que me conocen como el estadounidense que logró un buen acento en español. Con un socio mío tenemos una academia. We have a pronunciation specific academy. Que
Wow.
nos dimos cuenta de que pronunciation is everything.
Mhm.
And people speak with bad habits, you know? For example, something so small, like when you're speaking to someone and you talk about the muletillas, or filler words, right? Where you say like or that's so important, right? And these are bad habits. So if I speak to you in perfect Spanish and I say like, sí, claro, esta noche vamos a ir al bar,
Wow.
y entonces ahí te das cuenta y
Yeah.
escuchás un acento y decís, su primer idioma no es español, por eso ¿no?
Wow.
So we get into the details and we help Spanish people, people learning Spanish and people learning English. And so it's all online, todos online. And the cool thing is that we bring them together, like we do Zoom, like meetups. So you can speak to native speakers and they want to learn your language and you want to learn their language. And it's so cool. So I have like a Spanish English language academy community online. Everyone's becoming friends, and it's unreal, man.
And
Bringing people together.
The other guy that's on there with you, does he know Spanish too? Or?
The other guy, my business partner,
Bro, multiple languages, right?
my business partner is un genio. Shout out to Ruben. Ruben, if you're watching this,
Shout
Ruben,
out Ruben.
love
maldito
you,
loco.
hermano. Ruben is the coolest guy. He's the homie. What did you say?
Maldito loco.
He is a maldito loco.
He went to meet Havana one time, and the Puerto Rican accent stayed with him.
I went to Puerto Rico, and I feel like if I acted Puerto Rican, I had a better chance with girls. Because as much as like I would want to like hook up with a Puerto Rican girl, they would want to hook up with a Puerto Rican guy. You know
But I feel like it was more like, oh, he's cute. He's on a Puerto Rican
Yeah.
accent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're enthusiastic. It's about enthusiasm. That's what we're preaching. Like, it's all about enthusiasm. If you show a little bit of enthusiasm for someone's culture, they will love you long time,
Oh,
right?
bro.
And like, that's what it's all about. It's all about being enthusiastic. about the
Hopefully
culture.
at least 20 minutes, you know?
Yeah, I know.
That's all I need, bro.
That's all I
I was like,
need.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with the rest of the 18 minutes. But I just felt like 'cause I met there was a lot of tourists there, you know.
Yeah, of course.
I like turtles and shit.
Yeah. But anyways,
Oh, yeah.
sorry. As you were
No,
saying.
Ruben, just to clarify, Ruben is the main coach of our academy. He speaks 5 languages: English, Spanish, Portuguese, Hebrew, and Italian.
wow.
And he teaches dialect in those languages.
How do you not like all those mixed together
It's
eventually?
so once you start to figure out the hacks, because our academy is called Speaking Hacks, and you start to see like, okay, so I understand that this sound is like this. Well, how does that sound work in the next language? And so once you start to understand and identify specific sounds, like for example, there's a linguistic sound that's called the tap or the flap. And that is when you say, the way you say the word butter.
Mhm.
When you say the double T, your tongue is tapping fast, it's going butter, right? That sound exists in a lot of languages, but applied to different rules, right? So in Spanish, that flap and that tap is an R, not at the beginning, but it's an R in between like a word. So if you say pero, not perro, that's different because that's a trill. That's fast. That's like
That's what my ex used to call me, man.
perro, maldito perro. Ahí está.
Desgraciado,
God,
Yeah.
you sound
mal
just like it.
nacido.
Yeah,
Just
so,
saying it gets me
bastardo.
excited. Just gets me excited.
hijo de mil.
God, I'll call her. I
Well,
should, right?
Yeah, you should go.
Do it right now. Do it right now. Man. Put your phone
No, don't. Anyway, but so okay, so anyway, I keep going.
So anyway, we have different kind of techniques, and we have we put together this. We have this thing that we call Espanglés, where you can use the native language of someone if they're learning Spanish or learning English to achieve a native accent in their target language. For example, like if you guys are trying to perfect your Spanish, right? Let's say you guys are a bunch of gringuitos.
Which we are.
Might as well be.
Right. So you wanna be able to pronounce the city of Argentina, the capital of Argentina, right? Most gringos are gonna say, how would they say it?
Buenos Aires.
Buenos Aires.
Yeah,
Buenos-
Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires.
Buenos Aires.
Right? So what we do, we're like, okay, hold up. If you say these 4 English words together, like linked together, you will achieve the perfect accent and pronounce the capital of Argentina perfectly. And the words are way, W-A-Y. Second word is no, N-O. Third word is side, S-I-D-E, side. But that word is emphasized, so you'll like really emphasize that word. And the last word is ace. So it's way, no, side, ace. And if you say those all together,
Buenos Aires.
Buenos
Aires.
Oh,
Buenos
Buenos
Aires.
Buenos Aires.
And the amount of native English speakers that we've taught that to that flawlessly say Buenos Aires, and you're like, oh.
Eres de aquí. Eres hombre de mío.
Exactly. And that's the trick. We've just noticed that, you know, a lot of people say, well, I'm proud of my accent and I don't want to change it. And like, sure, we love accents. And we think that you can use an accent to your benefit a lot of the time. And people do. But we want to be able to teach all the accents. And if you want to get and be able to imitate a native accent, that's when the magic happens. That's when you get invited to the asado. That's when you get invited to like con los amigos. They're like, tú sí, eh? And then
How many other accents can you do besides Argentina?
that's hard.
Like if we throw a couple, if we each start throwing a couple countries, you think you can attempt? You don't attempt some?
I'm not that good. I could try.
Japan. I thought you were just saying things.
I do a Puerto Rican one.
Okay, let me think of something that Puerto Ricans say.
Just start rapping
They say,
that,
buddy. I'm trying to think of like the dialect of Puerto Rico. ¿Qué vamos a hacer? Or is that more Cubano? I don't know.
I feel that's a little Cuban.
You got it. I wouldn't know how to.
But Puerto Rican,
Kelvin?
Mira, hacho cabrón, tú sabes. I feel like they're more singy when they talk.
I can't think of it. I know like Cuban, like, ¿qué voy a hacer? ¿Qué voy a hacer, manito?
Can you do a Mexican one?
Güey, no mames, pinche mamón, güey, ahí. Y de repente, no sé. I feel it's nasally sometimes. That's exaggerated, but
Colombian,
pues no, marica, parce. Con gusto, a la orden.
Venezuela.
I don't know. Marico. I know they say marico.
Dominican.
¿Qué es lo que es, manito? Tigre.
Está sueldo.
What else?
Georgia.
Oh, good old Georgia.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm obviously gonna go exaggerate. Be like, hey man, how you doing? My name's Dustin. I'm from Snellville, Georgia, and we're out here trying to speak Spanish.
God. And you look like that, and I feel like you could that's really how he talks.
Boston. You know, I packed the car in the Harvard yard, and
that's good. But whenever you were talking about the butter and then the rolling the R's, because I feel like a lot of what you hear is like, oh, I can't roll my R's, I can't like talk like that. But I'm like, but you were just kind of like touching on like but you do.
You do.
Even like English speakers that like no speak Spanish, you do roll like you can do that with your tongue.
You can do it, and you're doing it, but you're doing it for different rules.
Yeah.
And I mean, not everything applies. Like for example, in English, like when we're trying to teach English, we're trying to teach us sounds like it's called a schwa, this sound. Like when you try to teach someone to say sun, right? In Spanish, you don't have this sound. It just doesn't exist. And how do you teach that? How do you say no? It's not on son, it's sun. And so, we get into different details with all that. The thing is like in English, you have 5 vowels, just like in Spanish. A, E, I, O, U, A, E, I, O, U. But in English, you have what's called a diphthong. Do you guys know what a diphthong is?
I know what a thong is.
And you try to dip inside
all the time, brother.
Yes.
I'm in there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call her after for sure.
You need to, man. You need to. No, anyway, I'm not going to get too nerdy about it, but the point is that even though there are 5 vowels in each language, English has 18 vowel sounds because we have diphthongs. We have things where, like when you say the word black or Chad, that
easy.
easy, bro. When you say this A in this word, Chad, let's say, the A is not just an ah. In Spanish, a Spanish people would say Chad, ad, no? But in English, it's an ea. Chad, right? And so there's 2 vowel sounds in that one A. And that's what a diphthong is when there's like a combined sound. There's movement happening. When you say hello, you don't say hello. Oh. In Spanish, it would be o. In English, it's o. And it closes. So you have this OU sound. And so it gets complicated.
Yeah, because I feel like that is one thing that you hear about with the English language. I'm like, because you can see these words that are like, spelled differently or like words look very the same and but like they make very different words like as far as like Maine and man like not having the A sound really just adding different things. So I feel like that's why here, that's why it's very difficult to learn English.
No, English is crazy. Like you have the word present and present. Like,
Yeah,
how do you
like,
know?
what
How do you
is-
know? There's no guide.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We're there to help people basically figure all that out and see that there is a way. And so it's cool, man. It brings people together. Ultimately, my whole thing, everything that I'm about is in Spanish. It's más puentes, menos muros. Okay, more bridges, less walls. Culturally, right? Like let's bring people together. Let's connect through language. More importantly.
Hablando de traer gente junta.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely not the way you say that.
Why not?
¿Cómo se sintió estar en Argentina para la Copa Mundial?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I thought I was Argentinian for a little bit, dog. I stood up, started flipping tables over.
Bro, Argentina está de moda. Todo el mundo está hablando de eso. And like, this is all they live for. Argentinians wake up, they like Messi and fútbol in Argentina y el equipo, hay equipo. Actually, that's not my first tattoo, was from an Argentinian phrase. It's hay equipo, which means like this phrase, you throw this out when like there's a connection amongst the crew. So like you and your boys are like hanging out and you're like, you're about to go out tonight or whatever. And you're like, you're on one. You're like, hay equipo, right?
Like the gang, like everybody else, la ganga.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the Dominican way, yeah.
And I love that. So being in Argentina, I was there. I went to Argentina for the entire World Cup. And I was there for 7 weeks. And the first game they lost. I was like, oh no.
Oh my God.
Dude.
I feel like that's even crazier because I thought you just flew there like, okay, they're in the championship. I'm going to fly over there and hang out with the boys.
A lot of people did that. No, I was like, I had a
You
credit.
went through the process.
I was there for the whole thing. I was like, I'm going to be in Argentina. This is the year. I know it. I feel it. Messi's last Copa. Just everything was kind of lined up to where it was like, todo el mundo quería eso. Right. And so I was there, man, and we went with my friends, the crew, and we went every game to this huge plaza. And they had a huge screen. It was like the fan fest of Buenos Aires.
You're with a French guy too, right?
I was the French guy. Yeah. Shout out Ladis.
Poor that guy broke his heart, huh?
Oh, dude. Well, that's the thing is like that guy, he's so obsessed with Argentina that he's kind of
a bandwagoner.
He's anti France, dude.
Wow.
I can't believe. I was like, okay. So what about if Argentina and France had a war? He's like, I'm staying here. I'm fighting for Argentina. I was like,
That's
bro, you're crazy. But anyway, Ladis was happy. We were hanging out the whole time. It was his biggest kind of like miedo. He was scared that this was going to be the end final game, and it happened. And so it was stressful, man. But we were there. I filmed the whole thing. I did a vlog. I got a vlog on YouTube about it.
It's right here. We'll play it while you.
Yes. And it was historic, man. We knew once they won, which was like the most stressful thing I've ever experienced and felt, because it wasn't just the game, but it was being around like 10, 15, 20,000 people and like going through that whole thing, people crying, people stressed out of their minds. And when they won, it was just like, that day I didn't see one cop. The whole city just like everyone filled the streets. People were hanging from shit and it was just the day that Argentina was like, we are on top of the world.
Wow.
And not one cop was around to stop anyone from doing anything. And everyone was on the same like page, you know? So the famous thing to do is to go downtown to the very center of the city, to the obelisco, which is like that, basically looks like the Washington Monument. It's in downtown Buenos Aires. And you go there to celebrate a win. And so I never got to do this actually ever until we won the World Cup. I say we because I feel like
Get in there.
Yeah.
Hey, you were there 7 weeks, brother.
I feel like you should at this point, brother.
I feel like I deserve it too, man. I love that country. And so, yeah, man, we got to go downtown, ran into so many different people, celebrating in the streets. It was like the whole city, the whole country shut down, man, and celebrated. It was a countrywide, no one is doing anything but celebrating right now that they are champions of the world. That's just, it's epic. It's historic. And I saw it firsthand, and I have a video to prove it and see it and watch it and tell my kids and grandkids.
I saw the picture of you in the championship. That wasn't the actual championship, right?
What do you mean? What?
The picture that you had like the championship in your hand, the trophy.
Oh, the trophy.
There's no way. Okay, I was like, yo, like, one way got that much pool.
What's his name? Salt Babe. He got fined for it.
He kind of got banned. Yeah, he was out there. He was shenanigans out there.
Yeah.
I don't think they were gonna.
What, for touching the trophy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like grabbing all the players and pulling them. They're like, dude, get out of here. Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
He was kind of being disrespectful the day they won during the games and stuff.
Cloud chaser, man.
But super cool, man.
I watched that the vlog you did or whatever, at the final game or whatever. I love the end piece that you had. You had, like the city and then the voiceover. And it was beautiful, dude.
Man, I
it was
appreciate
beautiful.
that. That was something I was like, I got to say something that is like from the soul and the heart about this, because I know how important it is for Argentina, and I wanted it to be epic, and I wanted it to be just a message to everybody, just like I've put in so much like heart and soul into this country, and so much so that like my second identity, like my second home in the world is Argentina, hands down. I connect so much with that country, and I just felt it. I felt that when they won that, I just knew how important it was for everybody, and it was important for me. So I just wanted to leave this kind of like epic message and video for kind of like however long it could be out there, and through the comments, like everyone's just like, man, thank you so much. And I don't know, YouTube is cool in that way. You can express yourself and take the time, write things out. It's good stuff.
And I feel like you can see it, like you can see it in your face, and you can see it like in the way you talk, like, because like the first time I met you was like during the beer fest thing, and then he was like, oh, Kelvin, you got a podcast, meet Dustin, get him on your podcast, da 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 da. And then like I remember like I didn't really know you or anything like that, so I had like a little bit of like a thing. I'm like, dude, is this dude a culture vulture? You know what I'm saying? If he's just like some white dude that got some clout in like Argentina, and now he's just like milking the Argentinians for views. But nah, bro, like that video, like you said, with the voiceover at the end, or like even like you coming here and like talking about the culture and all that, man, like you can see it that your love is pure for it, dog. And I'm glad, man. I'm glad you found, that thing that like you're passionate about, bro.
Yeah, man. I feel it 100%. My mom, she's like, I see you speaking in Spanish. I don't understand what you're saying, but like, keep going. Like, that's you. I totally see that you love it. And you're actually cooler in Spanish than you are in English. She doesn't understand. No, but I know what you're talking about, this cultural appropriation thing. I actually have never really been accused of that, because it's true. It's all pure. It's all authentic. I'm not out here. This is not some game. Like I'm 100% into the whole thing, and I feel it. And sure, maybe I was argentino en otra vida, ni idea, or el argentino nace donde quiere. But it's cool. And so I just definitely want to be able to connect and show other people. And I brought so many people down to Argentina, and I've exposed so many people in my life to the culture. And
us, man, I would say us. I don't know, opened my eyes a lot to it. Like I said before, all I knew was, Messi, World Cup. Mm-hmm. You asked us something before we started recording as far as like our goals or like our end game.
Yeah.
Are you at your end game, or what is your end game in life with this whole persona or this everything that you've built for yourself?
No way. I'm definitely, you have to be able to know how to pivot and know how to move, and also evolve as a creator. I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years.
Wow.
Now, like 11, going on 11, 12 actually, sorry, now. And so I've pivoted. I've gone so many different routes, and I've seen so many different things. There's no way I'm at the top of where I want to be. I definitely want to expand out more of bringing people together, because I know that's really what I love to see. And through these events that I'm doing, Alta Joda, or through this academy where I'm bringing English speakers and Spanish speakers, which is just it's so cool to see these people who never met you before, but have the same passion to learn language, come together and become friends and speak every day. There's a WhatsApp group where they're constantly talking all day. And I'm just seeing.
No, you're Latino. If you want WhatsApp, yo, official.
Yeah, exactly. No, but like I'll check the group and see the people conversing and being like, oh, is that how you say it in your country? Cool. And how does this sound? And what about this? And sending memes and links and all that stuff. Bringing people together is my thing. So if I can make that a massive, scalable project, then that's where I'm going. So through the academy, through these events, I just want to scale those up and just document the whole thing. So I also know that in the States, there's not this like, there's not a big culture around the gringo who fell in love with Latin American culture. Like there are several of us. I got so many homies that are doing this as well, representing different countries, etc. But in the States, it's not explored as much. It's not explotado tanto. There's not like on TV or whatever, someone really pushing the game And I want to do that. And being in Miami, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a lot more content while I'm down there. And yeah, sky's the limit, man. The internet is a beautiful thing. There's no like techo, there's no ceiling to the mix, you know? And that's what's so cool about it. And you connect. So I love what it is that you guys are doing. And you guys, I'm sure have already started to see connections and people being like, I saw what y'all are doing. I like what y'all are doing. And it's amazing. Just keep going, keep uploading. Don't stop, man. And this is gonna explode. I love that y'all are repping Dalton, which is awesome too.
Thank you, man. Thank you for coming on, dog. Like, you know, numbers wise, you know, you're huge. You know what I'm saying? So you didn't have to come here, you know, and like do this, but you did. You know, you did it for the city, for your love of Dalton, and thank you, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me on. I love what y'all. I love like the culture here. Y'all are having a good time, and I knew this was gonna be easy today. It was like shooting the shit with y'all. So
no, felt natural.
Yeah, 100%. Muchas gracias.
No, thank you, Dustin. Well, I feel like there's nothing a better way to end it. So, gracias y todas. Buenas noches. See you guys next week.
Ciao.
Here we go.